Hello everyone. All right, so here we go. So as the title of this video suggests, now I'm looking at, I've been on carnivore for a few weeks now. I had done a video a little while ago about how to start. Well, what I wanted to do is just kind of follow up and just kind of give some thoughts about what to expect after you've made that transition of going from, just eating the standard diet, and then going down to just carnivore, right? So you've finished that transition, or even if you started right away, and now I just wanted to give you some ideas about things that might come up, things that you might be thinking about, regardless of size or weight. So the first one that I have is, okay, you started. That's great. Now what? So again, going with the concept that you've been, going for the last couple of weeks and you've made the transition, you feel good. Now it's just getting used to, just the meat, the eggs, the dairy, and that's all you're going to be eating. Now, I don't want to make that sound boring. That's not what this is. But now you just need to get used to, okay, that this is all I'm going to be doing for the foreseeable future, and hopefully you will make this a very long future. So I'll be honest. There have been times when, um, a few days will go by and I get kind of bored eating, eggs and bacon in the morning, or maybe, adding some ground beef. Um, Now, granted, I don't go back to any of the other stuff, but maybe I'll cook a steak if I have it and have that for breakfast. Unfortunately for me, my diet seems to be very consistent of just basically eggs and ground beef and just some sort of red meat. That's just it. Bacon, and just yeah, because that's really all I can afford at the moment. But it doesn't matter. It honestly doesn't matter what you can afford as long as you're doing it. So what I would say is maybe just try switching things up. If if you're at a point where you eventually want to start doing maybe only one meal a day or maybe even two meals a day, um, there's nothing that says that you have to have eggs and bacon in the morning. No. You could certainly have, some hamburger or some fish or, something, or even, shrimp in the morning, after you've gotten up, and then have, you know, eggs and like I said, like what I do, like ground beef or, something along those lines, or ham, or, slices of ham sandwiches, or it's, sorry, ham sandwich slices. There we go. Getting those words a little mixed up. So there's a lot of things that are out there that you can do, and so I would just recommend start looking some things up. If you're able to do, like canned salmon or canned chicken, mix that with an egg and some cheese, and cook that. You could certainly do a few things like that too. So I mean, there's a lot of options that are out there. So don't feel like you have to worry about having the exact same thing every day. I think just I tend to do that just because it's easier, especially when I know that I'm only going to have eggs, bacon, and hamburger in the fridge for the week. Next one is, how do I tell people about this? Well, honestly, it's up to you how you want to discuss it. It. Please don't think of this as like this secretive thing. No, that you want to tell other people. You do. You want to explain to them why you're eating this, what you're eating, and how it's making you feel. If and honestly, regardless if if things are going well or if things are just not going well, document it. Obviously, please do that. Not only for yourself but for other people. But it, and if you're not feeling well, hopefully that has gone away after those 2 weeks of doing the transition out of the carbs and stuff. But also if things aren't going well, maybe look at the food that you are eating, right? So it could very well be that if you are doing dairy and cheese, it could be not necessarily lactose intolerant, but it could just be that your system just doesn't like it. So maybe try cutting out some stuff. You could always certainly do just meat, what they call lion diet. So it's just meat, no pork, no dairy, things like that, just meat, and see if that makes a difference. But how do you tell people? Well, just you be honest. You tell them, I'm eating what I believe, and and hopefully you believe this, but I'm eating what I believe people years and centuries ago ate. And because they certainly didn't have all this processed food. All they had was just either the stuff that they grew or the things that were walking around out in the field on four legs. So just explain to them that I have these issues, that as I've been doing research and I've seen videos from other people, I do believe that eating this way, eating carnivore, will get rid of it. And if it's only been a couple of days and you're not really seeing a lot of changes, just explain. You just tell them it's going to take a little bit of time, but document it. Make sure you write it down, because then as things are changing, and as things do get better, then you can go back to that person or those people and tell them, yeah, hey, look, this is working. Problem A is gone. Problem B is less. Problem C, you may still be having, but it's not hurting you as much, or it's not bothering you as much. So don't freak out about telling people about it. You just want to make sure that that you're honest about it, and you don't have to feel like you need to hide this from anybody, because you want them to be able to understand. And then what do you do if you run into issues? You get to the point where maybe you're at family, where we're in the beginning of September here, and slowly but surely the holidays are going to be upon us. So probably a lot of family gatherings. You may have lunches at work. You may have something at church, if you go to church and they have, like an afternoon where people bring in food and stuff like that. What do? Well, first and foremost, don't freak out about if you eat something that is not protein. What'll happen is, especially with family, is you'll get, I don't want to say peer pressure, but they're going to come to you in what they believe is a loving way, and they're going to tell you, hey, are you sure you should be eating this? What about eating vegetables? You get fiber, and what about eating this kind of fruit? It's you get vitamins and stuff and different things out of it. Well, then that kind of goes back to, how do you tell people about this? Well, you just tell them, look, I am eating, at this point, right now, this is what I'm eating. But, if all they really have is, if they have, like, if it's Thanksgiving and they have, the turkey and the dressing and the mashed potatoes and this and that and the other, don't freak out about it. If you end up eating, some of the stuffing and some of the mashed potatoes, that's fine. I mean, look, okay. this also goes back to what I said before, which is, one day at a time and one meal at a time. So if you mess up a meal, it's not the end of the world. It is not the end of your carnivore journey. It's not. It's just a bump in the road. For anybody that drives, how it is that, you go into you go down a neighborhood, or you go into a shopping center that has those little hills that want to keep you going at the same speed. And so you just kind of bump over them. That's all that is. So don't freak out about it. If you're going to be gone for several days, like if you're going on holiday, you're going on vacation or something like that. So that's probably when you want to start, kind of thinking about, how am I going to do this? Certainly, if nothing else, if you go to a restaurant, nowadays there are so many people have so many different kinds of allergies and different things that they can eat and they can't eat. Ask the server, just tell them, hey, look, what do you have in the way of just protein? Meat, chicken, eggs, dairy, that kind of thing. Pork. What do you have? What can you offer? I've heard tons of stories of people going to like McDonald's and asking if they have an a la carte menu, in their system, and then just buying hamburger patties with cheese, and that's it. So it doesn't hurt you to ask. It really doesn't. Right? And then if you end up getting like a sandwich that has meat and cheese in it, just take the bread off, take out the meat, just eat the meat. And and I realize I'm making this just sound very, it's no big deal. Trust me, I know it is. But it's just sort of that, mind over matter kind of thing. If you know and fully understand and are fully committed to doing this, then you'll know what to say. Even if you mess up, you just keep going. So just think it through. And if you're out, and again, like especially if you're out doing something, if you're going to be out with family for a few days or something like that, maybe, like I said, maybe you're on vacation or holiday, and there's just even the protein that you buy that you get somewhere is just a little bit. I don't want to tell you to, try going to the store. Again, just use your best judgment. If you have to eat, everything else that's there, or some of the other things that are there because you're hungry, then just eat it. Carnivore is not going to end. And I've said before, if you feel like you're going to fall off the wagon, well, guess what? The wagon's still sitting right there. All you got to do is get right back on. And the only way that wagon moves is when you walk away from it. That's it. So it's just think about it. Another one is I'm bored. You're at home. I have nothing else to do. YouTube's getting boring. I'm, doing this, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to go eat. Well, honestly, if things are going well with you and, with carnivore, unless you're like really out there working out, out in the yard, or you're at a job where, you're on your feet all day, you're moving all day, and then, you get home and now you're hungry. The food that you eat should be able to sustain you a lot longer than just, pizza, and then a couple hours later, you eat cake or something like that, and then a couple hours later you're hungry and you're hungry and you're hungry. But if you are, then go look for something. Look for something that falls within, the confines of carnivore. Maybe have some pork rinds, or and maybe have some with sour cream or something like that, or maybe just get some sandwich slices of meat and some cheese and just eat that. I mean, you don't have to have a ton, but just eat enough that you'll kind of get over that feeling, that craving of, oh, I'm bored, I want to eat. So the last thing that I have, and then I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, is it worth it? That honestly is going to be up to you at the end of the day. Because I can talk to you about this. Other people on YouTube can talk to you about this. They can tell you their stories. They'll tell you that this is great. It's going to make you feel awesome. It's going to make you feel incredible. But until you step in, go for it, and are doing it, and have, you're going, maybe you stumble, but you keep going, maybe you stumble again, you keep going. Again, regardless of whether or not you've lost any weight, and I'm only just saying that just because I know that there are a lot of people who are doing carnivore and are not overweight like I am. I only say that because that's something that can be physically seen. There's a lot of people who have, internal issues that they are dealing with and may not actually be able to be seen, but they know that things are getting better because they feel better. Is it worth it? You're the only person that's going to be able to answer that. And so if you get to the point where, you decide to do carnivore, at least just do it for 30 days. Honestly, I would say if you can, do it for 60. That sounds like a lot, but really, honestly, it will go by a lot faster than you think it will. But give it a try. Really put in the effort to stick to it. And again, if you fail, get right back on the cart, keep going. Okay? And then in 60 days, come back to this video. In 30 days, come back to this video and let us know. And if you've gotten past the 30 days or the 60 days or, the 6 months, let us know too. Because honestly, I think the more people that talk about this, the more we're going to be able to reach people, and they will understand. And they'll hear the stories and see. And again, that's why I like to tell the good parts and the not so good parts. Because you got to hear both. Because it's not going to be all, happy flowers and rainbows going through this. It's not. Because you're going to have times when things might try to set you back. People may unintentionally try to set you back. Things will happen. But you just focus on it, and you're going to do great. All right? Thank you, everybody. I hope that you've watched all the way to the end. Thank you for joining me on this video today. This Saturday will be my live stream number 3, and will also be 4 months, so 120 days that I have been doing carnivore. So I'll be giving my update as I'm going. And also, if everything works out right, I should have 1 or 2 interviews. I think 1 will be live, and it looks like I may have 1 or 2 that will be pre-recorded, but I will play them all in their entirety. So thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Thank you.